glad you're here. We got a new case while you and Nick were out. Ready to put on the detective hat?
Who's our client?
A fisherman, whose family lives on the edge of the Commonwealth. Kenji Nakano.
Nakano? Huh. That name takes me back. My memory's a little fuzzy on the details, though.
Maybe if you bothered writing things down, Nick.
Can't do that. Wouldn't want to put you out of a job.
Huh. I'll remember that the next time you need me to console a hysterical client. Mr. Nakano didn't leave many details. Said he'd go over everything when you meet him. But if you want my guess, missing person case. Guy had a worried look a mile long.
Anything you can tell me about Kenji Nakano?
Just some impressions. He was obviously upset, but he was also in a hurry, like he couldn't stand just waiting around. I'm a friend of Nick's. He'll remember me. I need his help right away. And then he was gone. He was muttering something on the way out, but... no. I'm not sure it was important.
Come on, Ellie. Don't hold out on me. What did he say?
Well, I thought I heard him say something about a daughter and also a radio, but I might have misheard him. Not sure how the two would be connected.
I'll go check it out. Thanks, Ellie.
The Nakano residence is up in the northeast, near the coast. A small fishing house. He said that he and his wife will be waiting for you.
It's a long walk. That's how the hard cases always start.
Don't be caught dead! Protection from Commonwealth weaponry!
Be careful when you head over to the Nakano residence. That whole area is pretty isolated.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so long as you're carrying it. something out there. You're in for it now! Lights out for you!
Damn it! Come in! I know you're listening on the other end. Where is she? Where is my...
I hope you don't mind. We let ourselves in.
Nick, thank God. You need to get to work right away. She could be hurt. She could be...
Whoa, slow down. Kenji, was it? Why did you go over the details with me and my partner here?
You have to get to work right away, Detective.
So, what's the story with you and Nick?
Nick didn't tell you? Ran with him on one of his cases a few years back, searching for some sort of lost heirloom. He needed a boat. Things didn't end well. We were double-crossed by the client once we had what he was looking for. I still have some lead lodged into my hip.
Right. Yeah, it's starting to come back to me. Sorry things ended sour.
We got out. That's all that mattered. And now you can return the favor by finding my daughter.
We're here to help. Tell us what happened.
It's all thanks to this damn radio.
Our daughter Kasumi likes to fix things. The radio was her latest project.
Until she made contact with some kidnapper who lured her away from us.
Or maybe she left on her own. She's not a child anymore. Our daughter is 19. She knows how to survive, and she's capable. I think maybe she left because she wanted her own life.
No, she would have told us where she was going. She would have said something. I know my daughter is in danger. I can feel it. Find her, please.
We'll find her. Don't you worry.
Thank you. Her room is upstairs if that helps. And if you had any more questions about her, just ask.
Don't worry, Kenji. We'll get to the bottom of this. Just sit tight. Let's keep looking. Need to figure out what Kasumi's story was. Why she left.
Need some custom hardware? We got a free workbench for all your modifications.
The Earl Sterling case. Apparently Earl just up and disappeared one day. No one's seen him since.
I've been meaning to put Earl's case to bed for a while now. Glad you're up for it. So, what's your take on the case, Ellie?
On Earl? Well, he didn't have any enemies, that's for sure. Someone would have to notice you're alive first.
And Earl didn't exactly have the charisma to inspire any crimes of passion. What's that leave us?
I don't know, Nick. It can't be the Institute, right?
Guess we'll just have to see.
I wonder what the story is between Mr. Nakano and Nick.
You keep that synth freak at arm's length. You understand me?
Today's Halloween.
I can't believe you eat that food.
We get treats.
Only one thing we're fine is dugout is. That's that booze.
You just gotta eat. What can I say?
A real Diamond City boy eats at the noodle stand.
Prescriptions, Bill. High quality chems right here.
Sweet.
If you think this is the best way to proceed, I'll start in here. Why don't you check out the living?
Ever been up in the stands? Let's just say they can afford a lot of...
No one knew Earl better than these folks.
Just a minute, Yetim. I am in middle of story. So then, I am crossing river, right? Wearing nothing but a smile. When out comes the most dangerous of all sea monsters, a Mirelurk!
A Mirelurk? Come on. That's like 2 out of 10 points of danger tops. Now, if you want to talk something really deadly.
Vadim! I forgot you were there, Yefim. What is it?
You know what? Never mind. I'll handle it myself.
See this bar? I killed a man for it. No, I kid. He is dead, though. Now, let me know when you're ready to order.
Earl Sterling used to work here, right?
Poor Earl. gone just like that. Such a good bartender. Good friend. Oh, terrible with women, mind you. Bull in china shop with them. You with Valentine's Detective Agency? I forgot to drop off Earl's key when I hired you people. Here, I hope you find out what happened. Security does nothing but yell at me for asking about it. I got a bar to run. Let me know if you want something.
So, this your bar?
Damn straight it is. My brother Yefim and I make the best moonshine in the entire Commonwealth. We call it Bobrov's Best. Had to start renting out rooms just so customers had a place to safely pass out after drinking it.
Sure. Let's take a look.
Not to bias you, but everything's delicious.
Tex Beneke, folks. Now, a word or several from our sponsors. A portion of this broadcast has been brought to you by the Mega Surgery Center, now featuring facial reconstruction.
You there.
How's it going?
We need to have
Why
a
settle for
conversation.
less than perfection? Here we go with some Bob.
You've got my attention.
I'm always looking for people who know how to handle themselves in dangerous situations. From what I hear, you may fit the bill.
I don't mind danger, so long as I get paid well enough.
You will be well paid. I can promise you that. By the way, I'm Edward Deegan. You'll mostly be working for me, but you'll need to talk to my boss first. His name is Jack Cabot. He likes to personally interview everyone I hire. He's careful like that. Come down to Cabot House in Beacon Hill and ask to talk to Jack. I'll let him know you're coming.
Start in here. Why don't you check out the living room? Must be some hint where that boy ran off to. You know, for all the talk, I'd put the chances of this being an Institute snatch job somewhere between 0 and none. Just think about it. Earl Sterling, local assistant bartender. Why not try the bartender himself? Lord knows Vadim samples his own wares enough that some weird behavior wouldn't make anyone bat an eyelash. Nothing over here. And Earl had lousy people skills. Might score the Institute some points in the last person you'd ever suspect category. But why not snatch someone with charm? Someone who could get you what you want. Earl could barely get you a drink by closing on a busy night. But where's that leave us? No known enemies. Wasn't much for the great outdoors, so likely not raiders or mutants. No, this all screams accident. Now, what was Earl into that might have gotten him in this kind of trouble? Hello. Hey, come here. I think I found something. Start in here. Why don't you check check out the living room. Must be some hint where that boy ran off to. You know, for all the talk, I'd put the chances of this being an Institute snatch job somewhere between 0 and none. Just think about it. Earl Sterling, local assistant bartender. A receipt from the mega surgery center, huh? I wonder what the good doctors have to say about that.
Doctor.
A new patient. A new file to open. Do you have a legitimate medical concern? Or is this about our facial reconstructive services?
Do you know anything about this receipt?
Let me see. This is Dr. Crocker's deplorable handwriting, all right. Looks like Earl Sterling was one of his patients. The procedure noted here is mundane. Low-risk cosmetic work. Dr. Crocker never performed it, however. Said Earl vanished before he paid. Anyway, we should get back to your immediate medical requirements.
Where is Doc Crocker?
I'm a doctor, not a secretary. I'm sure he'll be around eventually. Now, let's get back to talking about your medical needs.
Not now.
Let me know if that changes.
Hey, I think those Bobrov brothers are looking for you.
There's an awful lot of blood leading into the surgery center basement. Should try and find a way down there. Doc.
This better be an emergency.
Care to explain all this blood leading to the cellar?
This is a medical facility. It's not unusual for there to be some blood here or there. My partner must have forgotten to clean up. Again. Now, I must insist we talk about your medical needs.
I need to get into the cellar, Doctor.
What does this look like? A public outhouse? You know what? Don't answer. Why on earth would I let you down there?
I'm investigating a missing person, Doctor. And I think the trail leads to your basement.
A missing person? You're talking about Earl, aren't you? You can't honestly think... You know what? Fine. If it'll put the matter to rest. Here, go see for yourself. But if I find one instrument out of place, you'll be getting the bill.
Oh, Earl. You've really been a handful, you know. But I think we're just about done. Our little mistake is finally going to be corrected. Oh, naughty, naughty. You're not supposed to be down here, but that's okay. I can fix that. I can fix anything.
What did you do to Earl Sterling, Doctor?
What did I do? I didn't do anything. It was Earl. It was Earl who didn't want to be happy. Good patients get a nice, new face. Bad patients bleed all over the floor because they want to screw up their surgeon's life.
You made a mistake, but you can still do the right thing, Doctor. Just think this through.
Drop the weapon, Doc. Haven't enough people suffered today?
You're right. There's one thing I can do. Only one thing is going to make this all better. I can fix anything.
What's going on here?
We'll be
Dr.
taking
Crocker?
that.
I think you owe me an explanation.
Looks
What
like it'll be a
happened?
closed casket funeral. Hey, Doc.
I'm waiting for that explanation.
Doc Crocker killed Earl Sterling. I found out, and then he killed himself. Guess he couldn't handle the guilt.
Dr. Crocker killed Earl? The facial reconstruction. So he really did go through with it. That explains a lot more than I'm comfortable with. Dr. Crocker always cared about his reputation, but this isn't human.
You didn't know. It's not your fault.
Of course it's not my fault. That moron and his damn appearance over practice mentality. Now 2 lives have been lost. It's disgraceful. I better report all this to security. Get out of here. It's going to take a long time to clean this place of biohazards.
We can't blame ourselves. The man decided.
If you're heading outside the wall, you might want to stock up on Commonwealth weaponry first.
I guess we ought to give her the news.
So, you two find out where Earl Sterling ran off to?
Why was I looking for Earl Sterling again?
Well, to help the folks down at the dugout end. That, plus a pile.
Earl never went anywhere. Doc Crocker killed him during a botched surgery.
Crocker killed Earl? Gone as long as he was, I figured maybe Raiders or the Institute, but Crocker? Where's the doc now? Rotting in a cell, I hope.
Crocker killed himself. He couldn't take the guilt.
Goodness. I'm sorry you two had to go through that. Here, take this. Sounds like you earned it. I'll send word along. Let everyone down at the dugout inn know what happened. Shame it couldn't be better news. Thanks again for closing this one out. You know, I can't guarantee it'll be any brighter, but we did have another case lying around if you're interested. You remember that one, Nick? The case for Marty?
I do. Some loony scheme to make off with a statue of a grasshopper or something. You're welcome to page through it if you'd like. It's in the folder on the cabinet.
The Marty Bullfinch case. Marty was Nick's partner. Emphasis on the was. He must have been some kind of desperate to come to us for help after all this time.
Well, Marty and I never exactly saw eye to eye. Mostly because he was usually passed out on the barroom floor.
Aw, come on, Nick. Think of the good times.
What, when he quit?
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. Mr. Nakano seemed like a good sort, trying to make the best of things in a tough world. Remind you of anyone?
Hey, let me ask you something.
Sure, ask away.
It's just, with everything that's happened with you and your family, it's a whole hell of a lot to process. I wanted to make sure you're holding up all right.
Yeah, I'm alright.
Huh. You're a tougher nut than I thought. Tougher than I was. Took me a long damn time to get a feel for this place. Thank goodness I found Diamond City. It's got its flaws, sure, but it beats the hell out of anywhere else in the Commonwealth. Of course, when I took up there back when, people were just as scared of the Institute as they are now. Maybe more. The massacre of the CPG was still pretty fresh in people's minds at that point, and folks were still losing sleep over the broken mask. Plenty of people assumed I was just a saboteur, moving in to melt down the reactor or poison the drinking water. But at the time, they couldn't exactly turn me away.
Broken mask?
This was long before I'd moved to town, but apparently some gentleman type shows up in Diamond City, heads down to Power Noodles. Guess he didn't like the food because he pulled his pistol and opened fire on the folks enjoying theirs. When security finally put enough holes in him to drop him, they say he was full of servos and sprockets, just like yours truly. Seems he malfunctioned, went berserk. It was the first time people realized that synths had stopped looking like me and started looking like them. Considering what these folks went through, I felt real lucky they let me in the front gate at all.
Why'd they let you in?
Because I'd rescued the mayor's daughter, gal of about 15. The young Miss Roberts decided she... Turns out the guy was part of a gang of kidnappers. I took her home and the mayor dubbed me a hero, offered me a place in town. Lots of folks protested, said I was a spy, but he wouldn't have it. Taking up in the city was tricky at first, but I never tried to hide what I was, and people seemed to warm to that.
Was it hard, settling in?
Well, they sure didn't make it easy. I started off doing the jobs no one else wanted. I got more banged up being Diamond City's handyman than I ever did living out in the ruins. But I guess folks never forgot I rescued the mayor's daughter, so they started coming to me when people went missing. Wife runs off with a new paramour and takes the rent money with her. Talk to the synth. An upset father decides moving him and the kids to Good Neighbor in the dead of night's not the worst damn idea since the bomb. Go get Nick. After a while, the jobs got so backed up, they didn't even ask me to do the handyman stuff anymore. Hell, I was so happy to do it, it was months before I started charging anyone. I never stopped being Nick the synth, but it was Nick the detective folks came to see. It was about then that things finally started feeling normal. It took me a long time to realize that home is where you make it. And with some time and effort, this place can be home for you, too. That's a long story, but I hope it helps. Want to get moving?
Good luck with the case.
I think we ought to talk.